Hello and welcome back to Dare to Dream a New Dream with Carrie Severson. Today we're going to learn the lessons that she learned along her journey. And Carrie is an author, she's a speaker, and a storyteller trainer. She teaches her clients to uncover their own heartfelt stories. They learn how to express their stories in a way that allows them to feel seen, understood, and heard. I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan, and this is part of my continuing series of conversations with brilliant, resilient women like Carrie, who have inspiring stories to tell and who are role models for the rest of us when it comes to learning to thrive. Hi, Carrie. Thanks so much for telling your story.
Oh, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
And we also talked about the emotional ride it took you on. And I feel like you have given us permission to look at our own closed doors in a new way. And I expect you've garnered a lot of wisdom on this journey of yours. And I would love it if you would share some of those lessons you've learned.
Sure. Well, the first thing is, as an entrepreneur, we have to believe in our foundation, our business more than anybody else. When I got to the point where I had like my 80th no, and I had spent years building my platform, gaining followers, trying out different agencies, and finally got to the rope where I was like, this isn't working. My very first lesson was, really, do I still believe this project is meant to be out in the masses? And the answer was yes. I know it in my cells. I was put here to share this story. I was put here to share a lot of stories. This is just one. And so I held the vision despite the fact that, rejection after rejection after rejection happened. I held the vision of my end result. But I realized I was holding it like this, that I was so certain I was supposed to get picked up by an agent and this was going to go off into the traditional channel. So I decided to hold my vision with an open hand. The end result is still the same. I'm 100% clear this story is going to make an impact. I just needed to let go of how that was going to happen. And that's a lesson that I learned over and over and over again. And you would think that has to be one that like is my, hardcore lesson that clearly I wasn't getting, but this was one of those ways I was going to learn it. I can't control how it's going to happen. I can just hold the vision of the end result. So that's a big lesson.
Yeah, it is a big lesson. I love how you said that you were holding it like this, like it was, like you were so certain it was going to happen this way, right?
Yeah.
But when we let go of the how and we just take inspired action to keep moving our vision forward, then magic can happen, can't it?
Yep, it happens all the time for me. And that concept of inspired action, something I talk to my clients about every day too. Storytelling doesn't happen usually by someone coming to you and saying, share my story. Like you and I have known each other for a long time. You have to get out there. You have to share your story. You have to make a move. Inspired action is just one of those things. If you want your story to be told, you have to take inspired action. So, yeah, magic. It's something that I learn all the time.
Yeah, that's so cool. I really love how you said that. So, all right, so give us another lesson. What else?
So, I, as a recovered burnout, I flip-flop between the two. Sometimes I'm fully recovered, I feel great. Sometimes I'm still in the process of recovering. in that space alone, I've learned that to manifest my biggest desires, I have to lean back. I have to take space. I have to find a way, to let the universe send me what it is I'm working on. So I'm constantly in this line of inspired action, leaning back, inspired action, leaning back. And when I got to the end of the rope where I was like, this isn't working, pitching traditional isn't working. I've spent years building my platform. I've spent years working on this book. I rewrote it 3 times over the course of 4 years. This isn't working. I gave myself the space to put the project down while still holding the vision of it being there. I had to lean back. And again, that's a lesson I learn all the time. As entrepreneurs, we're constantly in that network go, 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 go. I find that I'm best if I'm in flow, and that happens with space. And so space for me allows my mind to settle, allows my breath to expand, where light can come in to shine on the pieces that I didn't see before. And that helps me all the time. And that is one of the biggest lessons I've learned in this journey.
Mm. Creating space for yourself to just breathe. I love that. That's so important. I talk about that too a lot. When we're so close to it, we are sometimes paralyzed by whatever it is just happened. Yes. And we need some time and we need some space so that we can gain a new perspective.
Yeah.
And I love the way you put it, just to let the light shine, because it does feel like a dark place sometimes when we are in the throes of major change in our lives, or disappointment when things have not worked out for us the way we expected them to. Yep. So creating that space and allowing ourselves to breathe and let some new light shine in, maybe from a new window that's opening up that we hadn't noticed before.
Yep.
That's great. I love that. Okay. Do you have another one?
I do. Just one more. When I finally give myself that space, it gives me permission to do that very thing, dream a new dream, get creative. So asking myself and God, this clearly didn't work. Show me how else is it this project land in the hands of people it's supposed to? And whenever I do that, lean back, give myself space, breathe, and ask permission to find a new angle, I get creative. And I come up with really cool things, really cool concepts, like a publishing house or, so in the very idea of allowing yourself to dream something new, giving yourself permission to get creative, to find a new answer, playing always helps me. Creativity helps me. When I feel uninspired, nothing works. So getting creative, asking permission, giving yourself permission to ask a new perspective or ask for a new avenue, it always helps me.
That's so insightful. The word courageous comes up for me when I hear you explain that. I think we have the courage comes into this, as well as allowing yourself, so that these all go together, right? Giving yourself the space,
yeah,
and the permission, yeah, to lean back, to breathe into it, to let the light shine in, and to be courageous enough to allow your creativity to bubble up again.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. It works every time I do it, and I'm consistently forgetting, to do it. But this last one was a big one. Like coming up with the concept of launching a publishing house, I wouldn't have thought about that 4 years ago. So
yeah, I'm thrilled for you. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see what happens. And I understand what you mean. We forget. Right? Yeah. We go through many changes in our lives, And each time something turns us upside down, we forget we have tools in our treasure chest that we have learned from previous experiences that can help us in this one. And that's, I think, another lesson, is just to look back at what you've done before that has worked. And pull that tool out of your treasure chest and apply it here so that you can go through this change, adapt to this change with a bit more ease and grace.
That's perfect. Beautifully said.
Thank you so much, Carrie, for sharing that wisdom. I really appreciate you so much and you sharing your story with us. This has been, it's been a thrill for me to have you on our show.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
And thank you all for watching our episode with Carrie Severson. This series of interviews is inspired by my latest book, Upside Down to Right Side Up, Turning Transition into Triumph. My book and my writing, its companion journal, and these conversations are intended to share stories from the heart and life strategies that can help can help others. So I invite you to share them with women in your life so none of us will ever again feel alone. Many of us have gone through similar experiences and we're here to help. So speaking of that, Carrie, I would like you to share how people can get in touch with you.
Oh, beautiful. I run a Facebook group called The Unapologetic Voice. And you're welcome to join us there. It's a free group. There are a lot of free resources for you. My website is carrieseverson.com, and I do have a number of beautiful training workshops and worksheets for you to do. And I'm always available through that website.
And the Facebook group link is on your website as well?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. The Unapologetic Voice. Thank you so much, Carrie.
Thank you.
And again, thank you everyone for joining us. I am sure that this is going to be an episode that resonates with many. I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan. Till next time.